I'm in the process of demolishing my kitchen. Of all the units out, I've a bed my brother gave me a year and a half ago, spare bed. And it's behind my sister's house. And I put the bed in here so I can try different angles before I start building walls. So that's what the kitchen cupboards and all were. That's a back door. That's the original back door. You just see the crack. They must have been putting an extractor fan on, but it never was fitted. I'm going to reopen that back door. That's the intentions. The electrics have to come out before I can do that. Right now I'm knocking down this wall. When I moved into this house, all I had was dishwasher there, they had a washing machine. The space there, an 800mm unit, a drawer unit, a corner unit, one of them useless ones you don't get into the corner, an oven I never used, and a 500mm unit, that wee one. So all the space I really had at the bottom was that wee 500mm one, really. The sink was all our sink stuff, you know, there's that many pipes and all crammed in there, there wasn't much room. On top I had a corner unit you kept banging your fingers on. One of them angled ones, you kept banging your fingers on, you closed the doors together. A wee cupboard above the cooker, didn't hold very much. And then again, so basically these two cupboards are the ones I use for most of my stuff, and a wee cupboard over there for biscuits. That's all I had. I built a wee tiny cupboard myself and put a wee flyover thing on to make it look better. So I built this big cupboard here, because I bulk buy stuff. And I had my fridge sitting in there, they're all stripped out now. And then larders and all in there. All the bulk buy stuff with like dog food and all. This pile of rice with all the bung down here like. That had doors on it and I took the doors off. I got that cheap in MFA. That's a wee MFA cupboard as well. So all this is coming out now, but I can't remember where I'll put all these wires. So the first thing I done was that was the oil timer. I put a wee X on it now, it's dead now, there's no power on that. Then there was the fridge, freezer, and what was the other one? Microwave. So when I put the microwave, I had the microwave sitting on top of the fridge. So that little socket there is linked to one of them switches. So I'm stripping all these out now, but 13 years ago when I wired all this up. And it only was meant to be temporary, like. But like, a lot of wiring. So what I've done now, I'm tracing the wiring here. Do you see that cable coming in from the roof? That's the light. So that light's still live there. There's two wiring circuits in this kitchen. There's it's a bit like my own kitchen. The people before me, that socket over there is original wiring, and these sockets have been added. They've been added on, so they have. So where's my wee socket tester now? What I do the plug tester? I've tested all these plugs now. Put a wee X on them. They're dead now, like. So this circuit's a circuit I'm taking out. The very first plug now, I've got to trace the first cable coming in. Now that the plug in the back is the same circuit as what I'm on now, I'm taking out. So the power cable must come from that and starts feeding the rest. This is a ring circuit. I've got to find out the start of the ring circuit and the end of the ring circuit, eliminate them and join the two cables together, and everything goes back to normal. So I'm just taking out this loop. So first thing I need to do is find out the very first, where the first cable comes down into this wall. So I'll trace that one now, in that corner. It's going that way. Why is it going that way? And this is basically what you have to do, like. So I reckon that's it there. When I take off this paneling, the first cable coming down is going to be coming in there. That was the original wall I knocked down. So basically I'll be putting this wall back in again. It won't be far off. The new wall won't be far off that old one. And then I get the ceiling all done up proper. I didn't bother doing it. I just put that on to stop mice coming down from the attic. I just had to plaster that roughly. Because the wee buggers are coming down from the attic. So this is dead now. That's not dead. So I might take that, turn off the lights now briefly, and go up the attic, take that out and put a wee block. I don't want to rip all the wiring out in case I'll be using it again. Because this is going to be a walk-in wardrobe. So I'll be needing that light switch again. So I'll just pull that up into the attic, put the light switch back on, let it lie up in the attic until I get the new place built. And then I'll run the light from here. So this is dead. See, I had to get this light to go in tonight. I had to get this electric, no, the kitchen's a different ring circuit. I had a wee lowered ceiling there. It's lying out there in the backyard now, like. But all I had to skip there was left it 2 days ago. I could be doing it now. So I'll get the rest of this. I can take this off now anyway. Take these sockets off. I'll rip off this wall and see if I see the flex coming in. The tip I always do, even though that power's off, I was still using an electrical screwdriver to take this socket off. But once the socket's off, I'd always cross the wires. I'll get this off here, even. I'd always cross the wires, put the two wires together. See if that's lit. Now, if you've got a nice fuse board, so go a big bang in your fuse board. If you've got many trips, it'll just click. Not focusing in. Why are you not focusing in, like? Why are you not focusing into a couple of wires? So you just cross them like that. You see if the power's still on. You do that before you touch it with your hand. So you can't always trust meters. I'm trying to learn out in a new bed too, like. She likes lying in this room here, so she does. Gets the most sun. This thing's impossible to knock down. What happened, see, I built it with 2x4. Got it in my old factory. But I put on MDF. I said it's only meant to be temporary anyway. Well, it's been there 13 years. But I put on my screws. And then I put fur over the screws. Could I get them? See, try and get the MDF off and the screws in the wall. Impossible. And one thing sort of bolt against another. Plus the wiring. So that's my oil burner right now. That's what the timer was. So that's still powering it. So I need to get the... I'll probably just let them at a dangle there, you know. I'll tape them up. And because I'm not actually building this room to, I don't know, a few months yet, don't I? But there's me wiring loop now. When that cable comes in to that first socket and this cable here, that's the ring circuit there. So all I have to do now is join them two cables together, and that's my ring circuit complete again. But I can leave it at the gap. I'll join it together, run half pair of wires, but I don't need that ring circuit. It's only these sockets. I don't need them. So I can turn them off. Them ones are still alive. That's a different ring circuit. So I'm going to build the kitchen. There's still power here. So I'm in the process of knocking this down now. There's the light switch. So I need to get the light switch disconnected. Hit go up and down to the attic. Then I was thinking that I could just pull the wires out of I can't see the rows above. So I had to go up to the attic. This was handy, pulling that wire up into the attic, putting the switch back on, until every time I build the new walls. But it's a hassle getting this down. Far harder than I thought. I build things too well, easy. It's taking me a long way to knock that wall down than it did taking out the whole entire kitchen. All these cables and all now, it's all electrics. So, them two cables there we pulled up, that's the ring 13 amp ring circuit. So when I get that up there, I'm just going to connect it. These are far too high rating connectors. But I'll shove them under that there, connect it up again. I'll not be turning that power on, I don't need it. But I'll connect it up. You don't want loose wires in case I switched on. Light switch, I'll pull the light switch up and I'll put the light switch back on. That won't be used, but I'm not going to disconnect everything, because then again we're going to need a light switch in the new cupboard. It's already there, I can just extend on it or add on it. The oil burner will be pulled up, I've taped that with yellow. I'll pull that up and just connect that up together. That one there doesn't be used, so I'm just going to put connectors in the end of that and it won't be used. That's the oil timer. I don't use the oil timer, but I'll keep the wire in there. Bearing in mind the housing executive had a kitchen here first, then the other one's put in a kitchen. I don't know how many kitchens have been here, but there's an existing hole there. There's no insulation in there either. When I draw holes through this house, I can't see insulation. The marks are on the outside of the wall where the insulation was put in. I don't see the insulation. So I might just see if I get my grant and get this house insulated. But there's insulation or not in it. I haven't got any. Unless I get one of them wee cameras and littles and start poking a few holes through to check and make sure. But I don't see no insulation. Now it could have fell out, but you still see marks of it like that. Checking out the size of shower pods and things. Thinking of going for a steam one. And then a steam one won't leak any normal steam. You have a shower. Well, a normal shower pod will still leak steam. So I'm going up now to tackle this wiring here. I had the wee lower ceiling there, and these rods, I know where them rods are up above, so when I go up above now I'll look for the button holding that rod, and that'll guide me to all the cables there. So there's the lighting as well. That was lighting up my wee lowered ceiling I had. All these are holes and all now. I'm going to put duct tape on them, because the chance of mice are going in that attic in the winter time. They come in from the fields like, and it's very easy to get into the bungalow attic. So I'm going to put duct tape on all them. And then I'm going to probably put a new ceiling on when I get the new room done. Too many holes in it. Get a plaster in. There's more holes there through there, you see. So take out the boy who put in there's 2 or 3 holes in the wall there. So take out the boy who was trying to put in the gas. Couldn't make up his mind. But I don't see no insulation. Behind that socket there, they haven't carved the wall down. I think the flex is inside the cavity. That's where the door was. And I think they put the flex inside the cavity. If so, there's no insulation. Now you can understand no insulation there, because they bricked that doorway up after the house was insulated. What's that? I'm going to put a window on there. Don't know why they put a window or another door. I like the idea of a door so I can walk outside, but have the door open out the ways. You mind there's a fire during the night, the smoke detectors go off, and it'd be so handy just to walk out. Or a nice summer's day and the sun's shining. You get up in the morning, you go out there and have your breakfast. You know, have a wee mini kitchen in here, make a cup of tea, and I can sit out and listen to the wee birds. Or just sit in here with the door open and listen to the outside. So I might put a door on there, but have it open it out the ways. Can't decide whether I should open to the left or open to the right. So many decisions. That's why I want to get it cleared out. I'll clear it out on this bed. I can't see me keeping this bed. I like a high bed, that's very low. I could build a platform for it, but it'll give me an idea on size and space. It takes up a waste of a lot of space, that bed. But I can move it around. If I was designing this as an architect or whatever it is, I'd have the bed headboard down against that wall and have a door each side of the headboard. So you have the headboard, a wee bedside cabinet, and a door each side. One side the ensuite, the other side the wardrobe. When you walk into the room, it would look nice, and you could put a wee canopy on it, and it would look really well and all like. But it means I'm looking over at this wall, and I want to look out the window. So to look out the window, I have to have the bed here. But you want it level the window. You don't want it staggered with the window. So to have it level the window, it's going to leave me less room for my walk-in wardrobe, because you still need room for a bedside table. So we'll see how wide this is to the window, how it lines up. But if it lined up with the window, it gives me room for a wee 2-seater sofa over there, which I fancy having. And she can lie on it in the morning as the sun's shining through the glass of the new door. And the new door will be clear glass, won't be frosted glass, but clear glass like a window. She'd love it. She would love it, so she would. So go up and tackle these wires, hick up the attic. You never get out of the attic once you start going up. The previous people have removed the ceiling roses. I think electricians do that, ceiling them up in the attic, and they push all the connectors through the roof space. So all I'm going to do now is there's the live there. I'm taking that's just for myself. The 2 reds come out of this side here, and that's the light switch. So I take out them two single reds. So they see a double red there. One stays in. This flex I have my hand on here now. These 2 reds. That's the light. I disconnect that, and that's the light that's connected on the wee cupboard. So I have them 2 wires out now, light switch. I'll leave the earth in, and that's the other end. And I'll just leave it, and when I rewire up, when I rebuild the wee ensuite and I want the light wired up again, it's just dead handy to get like that. I pull the insulation up, so I'll throw it down roughly. I still have to get the mains wiring, I haven't found that yet. That's the last one to do now. I might go right back downstairs and try and find out where it is again. Trying to move the fiberglass as least as possible. It's hard to get it down. There was mice droppings too around one of the cables. So there's mice can go through the gap of a cable. And that could be one of the places how they're getting down. I'll go downstairs and check where these other cables are. I can't mind. That's my temporary job finished now. Like, I'm deliberately not putting underneath the fiberglass. They keep above the fiberglass. That's the ring circuit. That's the oil timer that's never used. That won't even be switched on. But just get the last fiberglass down. What I might just do is I might just rewire that whole ring circuit from the start. Don't use none of the original wiring, because by the time I remove the couple of sockets away from the back door, there's not a big lot left. So it might be handy just remove all this fiberglass just off the kitchen area and do it right. Did a whole lot of joints. That'll do in the meantime. I say I won't even turn the power on. That doesn't have to be on, but if the power's turned on, it's okay. I've got most of my cupboard knocked down. Unbelievable the amount of work to knock down that cupboard. I bolted far too well. But there's the bed. So because the bed's there now, I can move the bed around and get an idea of the feel of the room before I actually bolt anything. The radiator's behind. So when the bed's in place, that radiator will be moved. So the bed is set further back. But it gives you an idea of the spaces at the bottom. There's the original wall there. So even if the original wall was rebuilt, there's just about room to get up there. So a best side table. I'd imagine I'm going to put a fitted wardrobe the whole way across. Get extra space. Need storage. So whatever distance comes out, there'll be a door in here then. Idea being that's going to be the walk-in wardrobe there, or the shower room. I'd imagine that'll be the walk-in wardrobe up here and the shower room down the bottom. But I want a mini kitchen too. The idea of the mini kitchen was to be around about the middle, but don't know about space. But then over here then was to be a two-seater sofa. A wee two-seater sofa here where the door been put back on. So I can sit here in the morning, watch the TV. So I'm not too sure what. I'm nearly thinking I'll put a TV on a swivel stand over there, a normal flat screen TV. And at night time, put the projector back on. Buy a new projector and the projector screen. Then I'm all up and try a new bed. So I want the bed straight opposite the window. So I'm lying, this bed's far too low. So if I was to keep this bed, I need to put it on a platform. I'm not used to lying on the floor. I like to be higher up. Well, used to be higher up, aren't we? A wee bit higher up, aren't I? So I need to get higher up here, like. And if I had an opening door, I can even just put a single pane of glass in there and don't have any openings on it. Because you want there, you can open the door. And when I'm elderly, then I can leave the door open, listen to the birds and all. I can put down the projector screen, a wee two-seater. Luna will be lying on the two-seater sofa in the morning. Well, she likes this room already, so she does. So when I see now how the sun shines, and the only problem I'm going to have with the sun's nearly always shining over there in that corner. But I don't know how often. Luna would love to lie in the bed and be hit with the sunshine. But unless the wee two-seater sofa can be pushed up when I'm going to work, so she gets the sun there. Well, I have to keep an eye on where the sun shines, Luna. It's a work in progress. But I need to find out now what room the shower takes up. There's a new projector. I got it's a high definition projector. £230 on Amazon, something like that there. Unbelievable. The sound quality, it works as a Bluetooth speaker. The sound quality is unbelievable. I have it set up here roughly. It's supposed to be auto everything. No control. Switch it on. Where's the on button? So whenever you turn it on, it's supposed to readjust yourself. You can mount it on the ceiling and whatever. But auto keystone, auto focus. So there's a great bit of light coming in that window now at the minute. But normally you still watch them in the dark. But I'm impressed with the sound, but you wouldn't want the sound of a screen coming from behind you, like. So either way, you're going to have to use external speakers. But it works as a Bluetooth speaker, so if you're just using your phone, then you can play your phone through it. So new projector going now. I piled it up on a lot of boxes just to see what it's like. Look at that, boy. Look at that. Look at that. Hi. Luna is going to love watching projections, I'll tell you. That's a lot better than watching on TV. You don't get the lights blinding your eyes. The base of that's brilliant, but it doesn't sound right having the sound above your head when the picture's there. So I'll still have to use three speakers. But that works as a Bluetooth speaker, so you can connect your phone to it. Autofocus and also it does. So you got a wee button here. It's also going to sell automatically. So she'll focus on herself. You see it now go through the focus routine. So you don't have to focus it. There you got a sharp end right up. Brilliant, brilliant.